Mic'd up with Mikey Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J Mitch. We got Jackie Boyd.
He tried to jump up, but he might have knocked it in.
Good time, dude. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
oh, God. So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock. And he's sitting there, he's punching me in the stomach, like, punching me.
Here, as everyone's sitting around, who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad doing 6 minutes. For 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
On the spirit plane had some issues, I think. She was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled it.
Whoa. What was that?
Time for the show.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you gonna bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it.
The SEC is God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they should.
Look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. He goes, I'll piss my pants right now. Hello. Welcome back to Mic'd Up. Today's Monday, March 3rd. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. It was Mardi Gras weekend. So I'd imagine if you're going to go to New Orleans, this weekend was the day or the weekend to do it. You had Bacchus on Sunday. You had Endymion on Saturday. And I think you had something on Friday. So obviously New Orleans was popping. It was a fun place. If you went there and you're hungover all day today and you're listening in, thank you for joining us. We're looking forward to having a great show for you today. We got a big show for you today. Obviously, big baseball conversation. LSU goes 4-0 on the week. We talked about it leading up into the weekend that was going to be the most challenging week they've had to date, and it's a good barometer to see where they're at going into the SEC play. They swept the weekend, passed it with flying colors. They obviously play a top 20 team in Dallas Baptist on Wednesday. They take care of business there. They win that game, and they go and play Kansas State, who had just come off a really good weekend beating 3 really good teams, including Arkansas. And you follow that up with Nebraska, also a talented team, had a lot of good arms. And you follow that up in the last game of the season of the weekend with Sam Houston, not quite as good, but everybody that plays LSU, it is their World Series. They want to beat the champs. They are now the new number 1 team in the country. Why are you grinning over there?
ULL 0-3 since they went on their social
Since they took your guy out.
Yeah.
Was he still working this weekend?
Yeah, he was down.
Okay, he's still down. taking a little break. Out of
Sabbatical.
sight, out of mind.
Yes.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. But LSU passed their test with flying colors. Obviously, the competition is going to continue to ramp up in the SEC. But this weekend was the first weekend that they were able to see pitching staff, or I guess the pitchers have the ability to reach the velocities and have the type of stuff that they're going to see on a consistent basis throughout the course of the SEC. And like I said, they passed that test. They had double-digit hits in every single game that they had throughout the course of the week. And they've scored double digits twice, 2 out of the 4 games on top of that. So a lot of the question marks that they had leading up into the weekend, not driving guys in, is the offense going to be good enough? All those things everybody likes to panic about really early. I think they showed you they're on the right track, and they're moving forward. It seems like the team's got a lot of swag around them. They feel like they've got a lot of chemistry around them, and I think a lot of something that we haven't really talked about, or that people didn't really talk about enough, I think, going into the season, was the type of defense that they're going to play. They played lights out throughout the course of the weekend. They made top play after top play that we're going to talk about. Obviously, we're going to have all these questions with Jay Johnson, who's coming on the show via video call around 6:10. He's usually right on time, maybe a little early, sometimes a little late, but he's always around that window. And we're looking forward to talking to him about this weekend, because I think the team showed him a lot. I think they answered a lot of his questions. And there's other questions, right? He rotated a couple guys in and out. He platooned. He had matchups. And I think that's going to continue to happen. But I think you saw, the top 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys in that lineup that are going to get consistent at bats. Josh Pearson, MVP of the weekend. Hadn't started every game consistently, started all 3 games over the weekend. Ended up going 6 for 9. I think his on-base percentage was like .715. And so he wins the MVP. But you could have given the MVP to a lot of different players because the team was clicking on all cylinders. He's in.
He's in.
He is in. Okay, well, without further delay, the head coach for LSU baseball, coming off a 4-0 weekend, the new number 1 team in the country, Coach Jay Johnson. Welcome back to the show, Coach. Congrats on the weekend.
Thank you. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing beautiful. It's great to talk about 4-0. Outside of the fact that D1 baseball website crashed, which is a credit to the LSU fans, because you couldn't get on there for about four innings, but we got there, and we got to watch the Tigers go 4-0. Talk a little about this weekend, Coach. It was going in. It was going to be the biggest challenge so far to date. It was a good barometer on how good the team, or how much progress that you have made throughout the course of the year. You play a top 20 team in Dallas Baptist. You play Kansas State, who's coming off a really good weekend the weekend before, beating Arkansas. And then you have Nebraska, who's got a lot of good arms. And y'all won all 4 games in a bunch of different ways. That's got to make you feel good moving forward. Y'all played an extremely good defense. Y'all hit the crap out of the ball, scored runs a bunch of different ways. That's got to make you feel good going forward into the SEC play.
Way to censor yourself.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
I was being nice.
Yeah, I think you just laid it out. I don't even know why I'm here.
Coach, I was locked in all weekend. Yeah, look, it was fun. It was fun.
No, I love it. No, good week for our team. A lot of things happened that I think we'll be able to draw from that week as we move forward. I thought we played a very good game on Wednesday night at Globe Life Field. That was a cool experience for the players against a really good team. Got a really good win. I thought we really dominated that game and didn't feel like we were ever in danger of losing it at 7-3 against a really good team with really good hitters, and they hit a couple home runs, but other than that, we completely stymied their offense. Played good offense that night for the most part. Friday, Kansas State, we got the lead, gave up the lead, got the lead, gave up the lead.
Yep.
Awesome defense in the bottom of the 9th inning with the relay from Josh Pearson to Milam to Luis Hernandez to cut down the game-winning run. And then a great play by Dickinson with 2 outs and a man in scoring position right there to save the game also. And then really good at bats there in the, I guess was the top of the 10th. And then Casey Evans, off to a great start this year on the mound. Did a great job finishing that game off. And then Saturday, Nebraska got behind and just really kept playing. I think our team showed a great deal of maturity on Saturday. And really, by the end of the game, it wasn't really even in doubt, which is awesome, when you start out down 5-0. And then, yesterday, we'd been tapped out pretty good in terms of 4 games in 5 days, whatever it was. I was very interested to see how our team would play and respond, and thought we played a good game. I mean, we were really one at bat away from that potentially being a 10-run rule type game, and that didn't happen. And then got some good contributions from some guys on the mound late. I mean, to the bullpen to go four innings with no runs there once the game got tight was awesome. And so good win, and excited to get back home I think we have 10 in a row at home. So really looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that too. Obviously, we didn't make the trip to Dallas or to Frisco, but we were there in spirit. We were watching on TV. Coach, before we get into all the other things that we had mentioned, I want to point out this, and I don't think people gave y'all enough credit. I guess didn't really know what to expect on the defensive side of the baseball coming forward. We knew it was going to be a more athletic team. We knew it was going to be, the defensive side was going to be really good. But I don't think people realize how good it was actually going to be. And you mentioned the Kansas State game. The defense directly won you a game, right? The relay, which I also don't think people realize on how difficult of a play that was. Pearson, the ball kind of jumped back on him, and he caught it seamlessly, turned around, threw it to Milam. Milam people were worried about Milam's arm. Don't think you got to worry about it. Threw the guy out from left field at home.
That's chemistry.com.
And you got to flip up the middle with the middle infield. How impressive has the defense been, and is this something that you saw in the fall and you were just wait and see what these guys can do? Because I think everybody on the team made some sort of good play. I think all 3 outfielders made a diving play. I think the middle infielders made, they don't have web gems anymore, but web gem after web gem. The catchers threw a couple guys out. It just felt like everybody was playing elite defense. Is that something that you've seen for a while now?
I would say it's hard to say. I was very optimistic about it because we have far more athleticism on the team than we've had, in my 4 years here. So usually that manifests itself in better defense when you have good athletes. I think, when you look around the diamond, you essentially have 3 center fielders in the outfield. So, working from back to front. I mean, Josh Pearson made the play, and he's like the 4th or 5th fastest guy out there, but he can run and move. So we're really in great shape in the outfield. I mean, Chris Stanfield has already made like 4 or 5 like highlight plays in center. Derek Curiel is a center fielder. So like you feel good about that. Then moving to the infield, you're looking at, Steven Milam has taken great pride in being a shortstop. And there's not anybody that's played better shortstop to this point in the season. Like I don't even need to watch anybody else to know that. Danny, has played the left side mostly last year, getting him back over to second base, and doing a great job there. He's really showed his range early in the season and his quickness and athleticism. Michael Braswell did play shortstop for us last year, is now playing third base. Jones, because he's such a good hitter, I think his defense gets overlooked at first base. And then, Luis and Kate have done a really good job behind the plate. So, you never want to assume anything. We want to be a hard team to play by not giving anybody anything. And we're not really giving up a whole lot by not handling the ball so far.
Coach, good to see you again. I got a chance to chat with you a little bit, not too much. We got busier things to do, which I expect. Coach, man, I just want to ask, going to play in a venue like that early on in the season is something, obviously, over the past few years that's been something more prevalent in college baseball. And for all intents and purposes, it gives you a chance to kind of measure your ball club in a different spot than just playing at home where you're super comfortable at. What you were able to get out of these guys in a neutral site, but there's other fans from other teams that are there and to watch this situation. For guys that are kind of new, gelling together early this season, what did you see in them, and how impressed were you with what you were able to get in 2 ball games where they kind of had to come back and get their backs off the wall?
Yeah, first off, shout out to the environment. Like Saturday night, that was electric. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like it was 11,000. I don't even know if that stadium seats 11,000, to be honest with you. That was really cool. We gained a lot out of just that environment, I think. And I think in terms of how we won, like I said, the Kansas State game, there's a ton of value in that because I do think we were playing pretty well in the game. We got a good start from Cade, got some big hits, executed offensively to take the lead twice, and then we gave it up. We gave them some free bases, and that's obviously a good offensive team by how they've played. I think they've won 6 out of their last 7 with the only loss coming in that game. And, we really had to pitch out of some trouble late. Connor Binge did it. Kason Evans did it. And that was a big deal. And then the clutch at bats late in the game, to start a rally, sustain a rally, and then cash in to get that 3-run lead. And then Kason obviously finishing it off. I mean, that was great. We just literally just kept playing against a really good team in a close game. And, the team knows it's a real important, if you're going to be a championship caliber team, you have to develop, being comfortable in close games in a 1-run game. And I think that really showed that. And then the next day, we kind of got ambushed. Like it was 5-0 before you knew it. And I thought Anthony Ianson did a great job of just getting the game back under control. And I think it was in the third, when we came to bat in the top of the third or the fourth, we just had probably the first one of the year where we, whole team up, meet in the dugout, and just talked about continuing to play. And it wasn't even necessarily about coming back in that game, but developing a competitive character, like no matter what is going on, stay on the task at hand. Yeah. And then, 3 runs were on the board like that. And then, we get the crazy play with Dickinson and Milam and the flip, and spin and bare hand and throw, and then immediately come back out and put another run on a board. And then the 6-run inning, I think in the 7th. And then, Schmidt comes in and he's 97 and snapping off like nasty curveballs, and everybody's going nuts, and they're playing call in Baton Rouge. I just think there was a bunch of great things that we could take from this weekend, and we're going to need to, because, we're only going to continue to get tested as we go forward.
Coach, you mentioned the 5-0 game. You mentioned Ianson. Ianson, my bad. I'm sorry. You mentioned Ianson.
With a lot of pronunciations on this team so far.
You mentioned Ianson. Y'all get down 5-0. Doug Thompson was in our office. This isn't our office. Doug Thompson was in our studio last week, and Skip talks about the inevitable too, right? In the first inning, you have to get past the inevitable 2 runs because everybody's trying to feel it out. Pitcher's trying to kind of feel what he's got, and once you get past those 2 runs, or you limit them to 2 runs, you kind of settle in. And it feels like he did that. You mentioned it a little bit, but how hard is that, and how impressive is it to go out there for the first 3 innings? You don't really feel like you have your A stuff, and then you flip the switch, and then you have your A+ stuff for the next 3 innings. You're able to get through 6.
Yeah, I'm proud of him for that. He's a really good pitcher, but the makeup part of Anthony is a big reason why he was a big priority for us to get him. And he got socked in the mouth a little bit there. And, at that point in time, there was a few things going on. It's my instinct is usually if this isn't working, let's go to somebody else that maybe they're a little less prepared for. It's a different look, try to just keep the game close. But, by playing Wednesday night, by using 5 pitchers on Friday in a tight game, they're geared up and building his pitch count and all those types of things. But, we had a game Sunday, and then we have a game tomorrow and a game Wednesday. I just didn't feel great about pulling the trigger and going to somebody else just yet. And he did a great job. And, once we got 3 on the board and then he went out and got a 0, the momentum completely was back in our dugout. And then we got 1. And then they made an unbelievable play to throw it. What's that?
Then you had Ianson came back out and struck out the side.
Right, exactly. And at that point, it just the ball was rolling downhill in a good way for us. And so really good performance. he actually got the magic moment that game for hanging in there. That's literally what it was. It was hanging in there, and he got better as the game went along.
Coach, we mentioned him before. You've talked about him a good bit. And then now it's kind of cool seeing this thing kind of manifest into actual reality and seeing it go. But I personally think through, 3 weeks of the season, we've kind of seen him 3 different times, I believe, maybe a 4th. and almost seemingly he's been doing different things every time he goes out there. How impressive, and his ability to kind of go out there and compete on the mound, and that being William Schmidt so far in the year.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's very competitive. He threw 60 pitches Monday night, first start. I thought he was great.
Yep.
And then, that's a high-level pitcher to get here. So I'm always thinking in terms of, hey, we got to do this right, keep him healthy. And I was talking to him, probably Thursday or Friday, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking Sunday would be the next time that we'll use you. And he kind of looked at me and was like, I could tell he was like disappointed a little bit. Like, I'm ready to roll. And then I think it was Friday. He's like, Coach, I've never felt better than I feel right now. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to get into one of these first couple. Friday's off the table. And then, I was just kind of looking around, and you guys have been there. You're down, and then like you work so hard to get back, and you take the lead. And this is a game that's going to end up being a good RPI win for us. Nebraska's one of the favorites in the Big Ten. And then we went back to Zach Cowan, who's doing a terrific job for us, and he did a good job, 2 innings, rather low drama. And then it was kind of like, well, if we're going to get him up, we got to put him in the game. And, he's going to pitch in a ton of big situations and big games this year and for the next 3 years here. There was just no way I was going to bypass that opportunity. And I mean, he came out humming. It was really, really impressive. And I've been very impressed with him. I trust him, and the ability is special, but the competitiveness, the character, and the makeup far exceeds what you normally see out of a freshman, right-handed pitcher. And, I would say the same thing about Kason Evans. I'd say the same thing about Maverick Rizzi and about Cooper Williams, but really excited about William, and always looking forward to the next time we get him back out there.
Coach, and we've mentioned this a little bit, but you can never simulate those types of pressure situations. You can never simulate
a blacked out crowd,
making a play in the bottom of the 9th inning to save a run. You can't simulate, hey, you got bases loaded, 1 out. How are you going to get out of the inning? You can't simulate any of that kind of stuff. And so, how important was it for y'all to go into an atmosphere like this, where you're playing competition, you're playing guys that can touch 97, 98, and you're facing those guys on the opponent's on the opposite side, and not just your own teammates? How important is it for those guys to see that and overcome some of the adversity that y'all are able to get? And is that a part of the reason why you schedule these types of tournaments?
Yeah, I think a couple things with that. First off, we had a great week offensively, and it started on Monday night. Against Nichols at home, and then really got the ball rolling. I think we have an advantage a little bit, and we do have so much high-end pitching that, I mean, our guys have seen a lot of good pitching going into the season, and honestly, almost the first week or two, it was almost like a harder adjustment to dial it down from that, but, we hadn't seen it for a couple weeks, and so I was very curious, Wednesday night, going in against DBU, what we would look like. And I mean, they made the adjustment like before the game started. And that's something that I talk about a lot, regardless of what the adjustment is. Like, let's not wait, till the 3rd inning or one time through the lineup. And I think it carried all weekend. We did see some really good pitching. Frost, the starter for Kansas State, had a great outing against Arkansas the week before, when Kansas State beat them. Ty Horn from Nebraska, I mean, that's what we're going to see in the SEC. I mean, that was a live fastball up to 95, 96 with 3 pitches. He's going to be a real good one. They had tremendous arms out of the bullpen, and I think we had 17 hits, if I'm not mistaken, on Saturday night. And then yesterday, you're back to a soft lefty and just really took good at bat. So I thought it was a really good weekend for the offense. And I don't know, that's just a great place to hit. I've been there 3 times. Twice at Arizona and this time, and I really love playing in that ballpark, and I'm sure you guys both played in it at some point. It's a good place to hit and a good place to play.
Was it windy one of the games? Because it felt like Jared had a home run and didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, it was odd because it felt normal the first day, and then it kind of regulated as it was as it got later, and then on Saturday it was just kind of normal, and I thought it was Saturday night. He smashed one, and I still don't know how it was not a home run to left center. And then yesterday, I mean, that thing was like jet stream, like right-handed hitters stream. Like when I got their lineup and I saw there was 6 left-handed hitters in the lineup, I was like, thank God. You know what I mean? Because we showed up and we were kind of in this waiting area above left field, and you could feel the wind just blowing in your face. And it was good. Steven, hit a homer, hit 109 off the bat. Yep. And then Ethan Fry got a good swing and drove one out of there. So really good production by all those guys. And I thought we took good at bats against good pitching all weekend, and that's certainly a good sign to see.
Coach, you can watch it all fall, and obviously guys know when they have a feel of it, then obviously you get to the spring and it turns to be a little bit different. And then really, being a former hitter yourself, it doesn't take much, I guess, as a offensive group to see your arms perform the way that yours have so far this year to understand that, yep, this is real. How much does that help this offense kind of settle in and understand that they don't have to go and put up 10 a game to hopefully keep themselves in it? They can just go be themselves, and they should be where they need to be game in and game out with the arms that you have.
Yeah, if you pitch and you defend, the game becomes a lot easier, and it does take some of that pressure. And I've had teams where it hasn't been like that. It's like, guys, we better get to 9 or this is going to be hold on to your hat. And that is no fun. That is no fun at all. Like, you can still win that way, but I don't think you can be a championship caliber team that way. And certainly not in the SEC when you see so many quality arms that you're contending with. So I did really like the complimentary baseball, that was played. I don't think we pitched our best, and I think there's some easy solutions to some of that. Coach Yeski was in here all day today digging in on and getting some things lined up for guys to be a little bit better and maybe slotting them, a little bit differently, which was great. So I'm confident we'll continue to pitch better. We already know what that talent looks like. I think the defense, again, it makes it hard for anybody to get started if you're not giving them free passes. Like the one thing, like Nebraska ambushed us a little bit, but they earned all 5 of those runs. Right. Like we didn't give them to them. So at least you're making them earn it. And then it does allow you to settle in offensively. And again, I thought the approach in all phases, was outstanding. There was just only a few spots that we didn't execute, but I thought the situational hitting was good. I thought the consecutive quality at bats was good. We drove the ball, of like 35 doubles or something like that, and that number seemed to jump up in a hurry. So that's always a sign of good team on offense if you're walking a lot and you're hitting doubles.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback on that on the offensive question because it felt like it was kind of happening. He's talked about it on Monday, then you saw it against Dallas Baptist, and you kind of felt like they were getting a little bit more comfortable. Like hitting's a rhythm type of part of baseball, right? The more reps you get, the better you get. And it seems like you have a lot of guys that you have confidence in putting in there, right? You have 5 outfielders that you can feel, it feels like you can rotate based off of matchups. You mentioned Fry hit the homer. Josh Pearson, who started all 3 games on the weekend, was the MVP of the weekend. You had Jake Brown have some big moments. Complimentary baseball, a sacrifice fly.
Stanfield batting 9.
Stanfield hitting 9. Then you have Braswell in there. You have all these other guys. Is that going to be a matchup thing moving forward, or is it going to be, hey, we're just going to keep giving guys opportunities until we see a hot hand, or is there some strategy behind why a guy plays and why a guy doesn't play?
I think this man doesn't have strategy.
Oh, yeah. I look at everything, and, just to keep it super simple, just so this is really clear, we're setting it up to win the game that we have right in front of us.
Right.
Like, there's no other thought other than that. On this particular team, that doesn't mean you're only playing 9 guys, though. Right. I mean, that would be, undermining our talent. And there's certain spots where guys can be really, really successful. Like last night, we pinch hit Tanner Reeves in the bottom of the 8th inning because the guy's an on-base machine. And he didn't get on base, but hit a rocket to left field. Jake Brown, who should, probably play most of the time and probably will play most of the time. We didn't play him yesterday because of, left-hander was in there, and Josh, obviously is playing great, at this point in time. Fry destroys lefties. So it allowed us to have 2 really good pinch hit bats late in the game that created more pressure on them. And, the Kansas State game was that way. The DBU game, our first 3 pinch hitters all got base hits when they came in to pinch hit. So it's a little bit of everything. And it's really nice to have the luxury to be able to do that. And I'm really proud of how the players are handling that. I mean, it is incredible maturity that you're seeing out of like an Ethan Fry, and Ashton Larson, and Josh Pearson. Like, every one of those guys is ready whenever their day is, and they've all had their day, and they'll all have their day again.
Coach, you talk about luxury. The pitching staff has a lot of luxuries, and another guy that there's been some conversations about because there's a video that surfaced is Devin Sheeran. And, you know, he got hurt over the summer, and he was shown video throwing a bullpen or throwing balls, throwing in the outfield of Alex Box. What is his, track back? Is he going to be ready? Is he not going to be ready? Is that just part of his – is he close? Is he not close? I guess that's a question that I'm asking.
Well, there's 2 elements to it. There's obviously it's a knee injury, so we have to make sure that's stable. And, you know, there's straight line movement, there's lateral movement, and then all the while of making sure his knee is stable to do all those things. What you don't want to do is rush back the arm and then end up with an arm injury. Right. So he's getting well along in his throwing program. He's going to get off the mound here very soon, and then there's a little bit of an arm buildup, but we're also still evaluating the stability of the knee thing. So it's really 2 issues. I'm not trying to be evasive at all. I mean, I'm hopeful. Right. I don't have, as soon as you look at that video, you go like, you'd want to get that guy back in pitching.
No doubt.
There's a reason we brought him. But we got to do it right, you know, and fortunately we got enough depth where we can do it right.
Coach, a lot of questions in the chat, and everybody's wondering, why didn't you get wet? You saw Chief jump in the water, the whole team jumps in the water, and then we don't have Jay Johnson. Then people are saying that you can walk on water because that's what happens whenever you go, 5-0 for the week.
Yeah, so the river thing, like that's like Chief's thing. Like, we won that thing in 21. It was actually 4 games then. We beat at Arizona, we beat Oklahoma twice, Dallas Baptist, and Missouri. And then Chief like stripped down to like his sliding pants and jumped into the river then. And that was like during COVID. And then we were at batting practice on Thursday at the field there, and one of the players said something about that. Like, I guess they'd seen it or something. And then he said, only if we go 3-0. And I was like, all right, you put it on the record. And he had to pay up on that. And then, I just not my deal. Like, this body wasn't built to be a swimmer. You know? So.
Hey, self-awareness is the greatest gift you can have. You know, you got to understand your limitations and your capabilities. I get that.
HWA.
Coach, I'm gonna let you go here, but before you go, I have to mention this guy because it feels like he has been has given y'all stability at the top of the lineup, and there's been a lot of hype about him coming in. I've been extremely impressed about him. It's a different type of freshman than Dylan Cruz was, right? He is. It's a different type of hitter. Derek Curiel. I did it again. Curiel. He has been as consistent as you can ask for any player, and much less a freshman at the top of the lineup. Can you talk a little bit about him and how important he's been to the top of the lineup and how advanced his approach is?
Yeah, for sure. I think you just hit on it where you said advanced in approach. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, he came in here today and sat down for 30 minutes, and it was just the highest level of baseball conversation you could possibly have. You know, and this is off a guy that was on base like 20 out of 18 times this weekend. You know, he's a ball player. He's highly skilled. The self-awareness thing you just kind of mentioned, I don't know that I've had a young player step in with as much self-awareness of what they need to do and who they are. Like, I'll give you an example of this. And this is when I already knew he was a great player, but when he said this to me, this was like in August, like, he's like, I'm really excited for this year. This is the first time in a long time I've had to actually compete to play. Like, he didn't come in here expecting to be handed anything. And he's an absolute difference maker. I think his ability to make quick adjustments. That's in line with like a lot of the great players that I've had. And, he's obviously a big part of our team. And, it was really cool last night, I think, in the press conference. Well, not think, it was him and Josh Pearson with me, and listen to Josh talk about Derek, but then to listen to Derek talk about Josh, like that's something that makes you smile as a coach. Like the self-awareness is high, and, really good engine, for our offense right now with him at the top.
Well, Coach, we're enjoying watching y'all play. We're enjoying watching him play. We appreciate you always coming on the show.
It's got a game tomorrow.
It's going to be a little windy.
Oh, if anybody knows the weather.
Windy and a little rainy early, but it's going to be good for the game time, I think, right? Are you playing middle of the day, or is it a night game, or are y'all moving it up? What are y'all doing?
Night game.
Night
games.
Gucci.
6:30.
It's going to be Gucci.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're good.
Beautiful weather.
That mean.
Just a touch windy. Maybe the ball's blowing out. But, Coach, we appreciate you. We'll have you on again here soon, and good luck this week.
All right, guys. See you soon.
All
right, appreciate you. What'd you say, Lloyd?
I said just 5 more, no big deal. Another week of 5 games.
Yeah.
For LSU.
Yeah. Listen.
Got the pitching for it.
North Dakota State is coming down here expecting some nice weather. It's going to be rainy and
Carson
chilly.
Wentz ain't walking through that
rainy
door.
and chilly for the next 2 days for those guys. Not as chilly as it probably is at North Dakota State. But
it's been inside all year.
These guys are fucking ready. They've been inside all year. I haven't seen the sunshine in 6 months. You better not take them for granted. They're going to whoop your ass. Speaking of, Clemson just kind of put it on South Carolina last weekend.
I did hit a 5-game parlay.
I was about to ask, you didn't hit the big parlay that you bet.
No, I got a little greedy.
Yeah, I didn't see all of it, and
3 for 3.
I didn't. By the time I got off the golf course, I wasn't. The games had already started, and I was not. I wasn't even able to hit the parlay.
I hit a 5-teamer the day before, so I got a little risky with a 7-teamer.
Nice. What were the odds?
Ooh,
what'd you get? What'd you win?
Oh, you know me. I'm a big gambler in terms of how much I put down.
No, but I just want the odds. I don't care about the units you bet. The odds.
Yeah, the units are not big.
Have you seen the TV show Bookie?
Yes, love it.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
It's ballers, but for gamblers.
It's way better. It's just way more entertaining.
But it was. Oh, also got some Masters bets coming up. Jordan Spieth heating up at the right time, and your guy.
My guy.
With the swing.
I love his swing. But I was trying to work on it. I was trying to get my swing. It didn't work out for me, but
I had a pull. It was a 7-legger that I did not hit. But
speaking of golf,
hit 4 bets on LSU this weekend. I got a good pulse of the team.
Our co-host got on the range this weekend. Jared?
I don't know about this weekend. Maybe this afternoon.
It was today. It was today. My bad. Mardi Gras.
It was working.
Mardi Gras weekend. Mardi Gras just acts like a whole weekend, you know?
Yeah. It wasn't this weekend. It was today.
Yeah, so you realize that when you move to Texas and you're out there and you're schmoozing with all the high-fluting, donors for LSU out there in Dallas, you realize, damn, there's a lot of golf courses here in Texas. People like to play golf. So I got to go and swing the sticks.
That's where deals get done.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I felt the need to kind of pull mine out of the storage recently, and I got a course that's literally right in my backyard. So I said, you know what? Kind of finished some stuff up early today. I might as well slide over here and swing it a little bit.
Still wearing the shirt. Looks good, Coach. You look good.
I'm ready to see him in some sun.
Hey, let me ask you this: are you going to get a lesson?
Who knows? We'll see. I don't know.
I would advise, if I can put any suggestion, I would advise going out to the range and going to the course a few times and getting a swing, and then go and get a lesson. Not getting a lesson right off the jump. That's what I would suggest.
Okay. I had this guy next to me just eyeing me up, like wanting to come over there and like take her, and I wanted to just give him the stone cold stunner and just tell him get off my back.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna look. Everybody's a golf coach on the golf course. I'll give you that too. So be careful. Be careful on how many people you listen to.
Be careful, CJ.
I've gotten caught into listening to a million things, and
I didn't hear one.
Doesn't work out when you do that way.
Where are you back? Are you back at square one? Like, did you go around?
No. I'm good. I've made some serious progress, but back when I was trying to figure it out, I was open for suggestions from everybody. Not the right.
He's calling a hotline.
Yeah, not good. Not good.
I gave him one.
You were a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Exactly.
Master of double. I gave him one swing tip. around hole 7. Apparently, everything went to shit after I talked.
And so but look, my swing's making progress. I'm looking forward to seeing the progress of your swing. I was gonna say we should vlog it.
Absolutely.
The rise
My
of
shit's better than sauce to start. I'm just gonna tell you that.
The rise of Jay Mitch on it better be. You've been swinging a baseball bat your whole life.
I was shocked that you play as little as you do. After seeing the swing, I was shocked that you play as little as you do. After seeing the swing,
I'm not sure you can even say I play. That's how little I play.
Yeah.
It's very Ken Griffey-ish.
It's part of it.
Oh, it just translates.
Yeah, it's part of it. You swing righty or lefty?
Lefty.
Yeah, that's the move.
You can do both, though, I bet.
No.
Has there ever been a switch-hitting golfer?
No, swing don't work.
All those YouTube golfers can go both ways.
I might not be that bad golf-wise, but the baseball swing is garbage on the right side.
Yeah, my left-handed swing is not – I mean, I can't throw left-handed.
I'm talking garbage. It is as uncoordinated as it gets, so who knows? I don't know.
No bueno.
We'll all get out there.
I
guess –
What?
You would have probably if we handicap this thing, you would be the lowest rated golfer, right? Like you'd have the
Me?
Yeah, like
he would get the lowest rated golfer.
No, I'm saying you get the lowest amount of strokes.
No, you would get the lowest amount of strokes. I would get more strokes than you, and you know that for a fact.
Why? Trying to sandbag.
That's what he does. That's what he does. Ask him if he's gotten called back to go play golf the last 2 times because he sandbagged everybody.
I didn't sandbag. People just look at me and they think maybe not.
I thought you learned about this, Lloyd. Why do you keep doing this?
Lloyd says, "Oh, I'm not good because Lloyd doesn't have a handicap, and so now they can't check it because he doesn't put any scores in. But he is a good golfer."
I don't get to play with Ronnie Rance anymore. Ochinko played with him one time, and I won his work scramble, and now I can't play anymore.
They caught on to you. That's your fault.
They're on to you.
Yeah.
They're on to you, man.
Payday, though.
You got to chill with that shit.
I know. We're working on it. We got my
I
next.
played barefoot.
Our next tournament. Our next tournament's member in like 2 months. I gotta lock it in.
Maybe I'll join.
Hey, the Gen came out with like updates, and it kind of pissed people off with the giving some people a soft cap for the sandbaggers.
As they should.
As it should.
I'm no sandbagger.
You're trying to be. You're definitely a better golfer than me, and you know it.
No, not when how would you have into one today, or yesterday?
No, but that doesn't matter. Having 50
We'd be
yards,
a great scramble team.
Having 50 yards into a hole doesn't mean you're a great golfer. It just means I got into one. I did part. So, a lot of times I ruin the drive.
One time about 50 yards is a par 3.
A lot of times I ruin the drive with the next shot, but I did not on that hole. So we're working on it.
Oh, Matthew Conkle. We need a mic'd up golf tournament. The morning of the spring game, where it would normally be.
We don't, not just a mic'd up, not even necessarily a golf tournament. We need to have a mic'd up golf day where we have somebody videoing us.
Ooh.
I'm working on that for my other channel.
Oh, see.
But we could do, but yeah, well, he doesn't live here.
He can come in.
But you could be on the channel.
We can make it a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can make it a thing.
Breaking 90.
Golf content.
Let's not get too deep in that summer now. It get kind of hot out there because I don't know about all that.
I'm telling you, the golf content. I watch so much of it on YouTube, and none of them are any good. My butt Tyler hates it. He's like, they're not good.
YouTube golf.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are good.
So yeah, but I mean, he's was a professional.
No, I know. But that's like, I mean, I get that because I look at.
I hate that guy.
I look at these guys doing all these hitting stuff, and I'm like, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is stupid, right? Like, you shouldn't be teaching the kids this, one. And two, like, yeah, I get exactly what he's saying. Now, you got other guys that got, like, the baseball bat bros. Like, they got good swings, right? Like, whatever. And then they got the other guy, I guess maybe he's part of that squad or he does his own, like, bat reviews.
The JUCO champion?
No, not that guy. They have a long driver that used to be a baseball guy that does both.
Oh my God.
He has both content.
Might as well make an OnlyFans at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get back to the baseball conversation, though. Jay obviously always gives us some good insight. But from our perspective, Jared, you were there. I know you were talking to a lot of people, so you didn't get to lock in on the game as much as you wanted to. Give me something that stood out to you this weekend.
The biggest thing that stood out to me this weekend was I was able to get to the Friday and Saturday game, and truth be told is the resiliency and the ability to kind of play in the clutch. You remember Friday night or Friday afternoon's game, what they were able to do in the ninth inning to extend the ball game and then have clutch at bats and actually take the lead and then close the door in the 10th. And then you turn around on Saturday, and I didn't show up until I believe the beginning of the second, where they were either down 3-0 or down 5-0, or whatever way it goes. Is you can have that big up, and then the next day you come back. It's easy to kind of fall and not really kind of get back on your toes and get back to playing. And I was impressed by the resiliency of them being able to hold off a push, right? Like you tie the game, you lose leads late in the game, and then you do what you did to make those 2 or 3 big plays and then obviously take the lead. And then the next day you come back and you fall behind early, but you stay on the wagon. You keep churning, you keep pushing, and then you find a way to kind of claw your way back into the game, and then you blow it open late in the game. So I thought something like that for me was really cool to see, because that's the kind of ingredients that takes a team from being either a good team to a really good team, either a great team to an elite team. We still don't know where this team is yet. Why? Because they have not gotten a conference play. And I get it. This was better competition, but we're getting a chance to see whatever that ceiling you may think is, there might be a little bit more there, because there seems to be that they have the intangibles already in place on the squad.
Lloyd, what about you?
I think what's really happening in my mind is that the confidence it's transitioning from both sides of the baseball, right? Like the way they're playing defense is starting to feel like it's transitioning to the offensive side or vice versa, whatever gets hot first. But my biggest takeaway was the way I felt, and this is just a me thing, whenever they got down 5-0 against Nebraska, I didn't blink. I was like, they're going to put up runs, and then they're going to settle into this thing. And to see Ianson be able to, once he started landing his breaking ball and be able to get going, it was like, all right, the door's going to be shut here soon. And then to have a freshman come in and pitch, 2 out of 3 days as a closer in Casey Evans. Like, I wish we could talk to Jay a little bit more about him.
Yep.
Because Schmidt is a huge deal. Like, I get it, but he came in as, almost lucky to have him. It feels like Casey Evans wasn't that big of a story, but to Jay it was, because he talked about the recruiting battle to get him from not going to the major leagues to be able to come to LSU. And that was something that we didn't have really an eye on. We talked about his, prowess as being a, top 15 shortstop in Texas and a top 10 pitcher. But to see what he's done and kind of solidify himself as the closer of this baseball team, it feels good when you get to the 8th.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's, he's super impressive. Obviously, he attacks guys. He's aggressive. He's got you can always tell when a pitcher was a position player as well, right?
Mindset,
a different mentality at the plate. On the mound. You kind of take the position player mindset to the mound, which is a little bit different than the pitchers. It's more of an attack mindset, and you can definitely tell that, he has that. So he's been extremely impressive. And from day one, he pitched the first game of the season, touching 99 miles an hour out the bullpen. And he's been impressive since game one. So obviously both those were huge things. And for me, it was the defense, right? And I've brought it up a bunch of times, but and everybody sees the middle infield, and everybody sees what Dickinson's been doing all year, diving plays in the hole, diving plays up the middle, getting up. He's been as solid as they come. Milam has been as smooth and as solid as they come at shortstop, with all the question marks that people had coming into the season on, hey, can he play short? Is his arm going to be good enough? He's got plenty of arm. He's got plenty of ability at shortstop. But for me, and I think it's because I'm an outfielder, it's seeing the outfield defense. This is the best outfield defense that we've had in a few years, probably consistently in a few years at LSU. It wasn't that the defense was bad, the old outfield defenses last few years, because they make the plays they needed to make. These guys are making the easy plays, but they're also making the elite plays. You got guys coming in making diving catches. You have Stanfield's been amazing in center. You've had, I think every outfielder out there has made an elite play. And I can't talk enough about the relay, because
that's the game.
It's the game. The moment that it happened, right? Like the situation that it was in, it was the last inning. It was a double in the gap. And it was in a big field, right? A field that you're not very familiar with, right? So him going back there, understanding that he's got to get this ball in quick, and then getting to the ball, and it kind of almost handcuffs him a little bit, kind of gets on top of it, turns around, throws it perfect relay to Milam, And then Milam even hesitates a split second and then makes a nails of a throw home, and they tag the guy out. And it was just like, that's a really hard play in that type of situation in that moment. And to be able to execute that flawlessly, to me, was pretty special. The flip up the middle and all of those things are great.
Yeah, that's the sex part.
But that play right there was like, okay, that's a hard play. You got to make 2 perfect throws, and the catcher's got to catch it and hold on to it and tag the guy out.
Old buddy was rolling.
Yeah.
Like, thought he was going to score.
No doubt. So, yeah, I mean, I think it was a great weekend. And to Jay's point, they didn't pitch their best, right? And I think that should give them more confidence because they know they're not going to walk 10 guys on the Sunday game every week, right? And that's what they did. It was 12-8 against Sam Houston. The game wasn't that close. But it ended up being closer than it needed to because of the free passes. You gave up 10 walks that game. That's what happens against an inferior team. You give the free passes, they're going to be able to steal some runs from you, and that's what happened. And look, if people were concerned about what Chase Shores, how he looked on Sunday, I wouldn't be. It was one of those things where, look, he was throwing his sinkers. He wasn't getting a bunch of swings and misses. The ground balls were finding holes. They're not always going to find holes like that. It was a bunch of singles. It was kind of some soft singles, and sometimes it just happens that way. But he got through 5 and got the dub, and you move forward.
Here comes the 1-0.
Courtesy of D1 base.
There we go.
Into left center.
Bottom 9, and then who comes over the top of the
I mean, so the ball is there,
Kennedy.
and it's going back, and he has to reach on top of it.
This snatch
into left center.
So he goes back.
Delivered.
Has to reach on top
Here
of it.
comes
Right? It's
Kennedy.
hard with a glove. That's a hard thing to
The
get.
throw
He gets
home
it,
to win
transfers
the
it.
game for
Great throw.
K-State.
It's just great all
He's
around.
out. Wow.
Great all around. I was watching live. I was like,
His ability to literally grab, spin, throw
Yeah.
all in one motion and not have any wasted steps, and then do all of that and put a throw on a money to the cutoff man.
No doubt.
Incredible.
No doubt.
That's clinic tape type of stuff, and it was really cool to see him do that.
Yep.
The dude has no panic in him.
No, look, he did it in Omaha, right? He made a game-saving play in Omaha in 2023, and without that, they don't win the game. And then he does this again. It's just
– and it was kind of like that where it was very casual, but like everybody else, you're kind of watching with bated breath. You're like, oh, he made that look easy.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't think that he would be rated as like the best athlete on the team, but it shows up whenever it needs to. Like he can roll a little bit.
No doubt. And look, he has great at-bats. He had a great weekend at the plate. That's just another.
You'll miss him.
Yeah, and that's just another person that you can add into the.
Damn, Lloyd, you looking to head that far already? What you mean?
I know.
I'm just saying. One of these guys
on the bone in 2025.
He's one of those
I know.
guys
And look,
that you'll
I
look
think-
back on and be like, damn.
I think this weekend was good for Stanfield too. I think he had a pretty good weekend.
I think we're underrating Stanfield when he brings
I
the
100%.
energy.
I like him in the lineup because I like the speed that he has. He brings something that nobody else in that lineup brings. Right? Maybe.
Right, Jared?
Maybe Curiel. What? What'd you just do?
Just got a little swag. I've never seen Ray-Bans in the outfield before.
Hey, you know what I do like though? I like when he goes and makes the diving play and he shows some.
That's what I'm saying.
I
He's
love
got
that.
like more swag than anybody else on the squad does. Like, you got to have him out there. Just a vibes guy.
Vibes guy. Vibes.
Plays with the vibes. I think the vibes from whatever he's able to do and when he's able to do it on defense, he's a guy that rolls off of that and brings it into his offense. So whether he's at the top of the lineup or the bottom of the lineup, the better he's playing on defense. And, I feel like there's not many guys you see like this. I feel like he is one that fits that mold. He thrives off of what he does defensively. And when he feels like he's playing like himself there, you get a better version of him at the plate, which is really cool to see.
And look, Stanfield's hitting 343.
He's kind of, to me, he's kind of the catalyst of what this offense is doing right now, because with him and Curiel, you're not able to put Dickinson behind Jared Jones if they're not rolling like they are right now.
And everybody wants to talk about the offense. I'm like, oh, they're last in the league in home runs, tied with Kentucky with 9. I get that, sure. I think they're going to hit more homers. I think you're starting to see that. They hit more homers this weekend than they've hit throughout the course of the year leading up to it, right? The weekends leading up to it. They're going to get hot. They're going to start hitting homers. Jared Jones is going to get on a hot streak. You're going to have guys that hit balls out of the ballpark. They're not going to be they're going to hopefully be maybe middle of the pack in the SEC with home runs, but they're driving balls in the gap. They're driving guys in. The ultimate thing that matters, the thing that matters the most is the runs.
Scoring 10 runs a game.
How many runs are you scoring? And that's how are you scoring? It doesn't matter. It's how many are you scoring. And they're doing that. And look at the averages. Curiel's hitting 432.
Go ahead.
Jared Jones hitting 409. Dickinson's hitting 386. Milam's hitting 362. Pearson's now hitting 360. Jake Brown's hitting 355. Chris Stanfield's hitting 343. Luis Hernandez, who hasn't gotten hot yet, is hitting 269.
Ain't done shit yet.
Yet. Keyword. Braswell is, obviously hasn't found his stroke yet, but he's going to get there, and obviously his defense is there. Tanner Reeves coming off the bench, hitting 214, still the same thing, gets on base. Obviously, Jay likes him, trusts him in the lineup. Larson's on the bench hitting 278. Ethan Fry's hitting 350, right? And we can't forget about Big John Pearson, right? In his limited at-bats, he's hitting 400. So the lineup is producing. It's just producing in a different way than people are used to seeing.
I also think there's a couple guys in there that have a lot of, top-end upside. And like you said, you haven't seen that part of it yet. But if you want to talk about, since they're sitting right there with Kentucky, and you want to kind of compare them to Kentucky's team last year, Kentucky's team didn't pitch it the way that this team is pitching it.
Right.
And I think that that's the separator in this thing right now. Like, they had a pretty average to maybe slightly above average pitching staff. They had a couple guys that came out there and really threw well for them last year. They didn't have the ability, the stuff, and the ability to execute the way that this staff has shown so far this year. And if this staff keeps progressing and kind of on what seems to be kind of the trajectory of maybe like an Arkansas last year, right? If they kind of keep doing that as a staff, then you're looking at something completely different because, like I said, Kentucky's team didn't pitch it the way that this team's pitching it right now.
Right. I've been excited. I've been happy with the offense. It's beginning of the season. You don't want to start the season off guns blazing. You just want to be consistent. You want to start getting feeling comfortable and getting ready and getting in rhythm, so that when it is time to get hot, you're ready. And it feels like these guys are doing it. I don't feel like, Jared Jones having an unbelievable start to the season. He's being patient, and I think he's walked 12 times. He's gotten hit twice. He's hitting 409. Yeah, he only has 2 homers, but that number's going to balloon to a bigger number here at some point. What is this?
This is our draft.
That's a lot of things going on there.
It is.
I can't read it, but this is our draft, and you are updating our standings.
We're updated.
Still leading the pack through 3 weeks is
you.
Me. With I can't read it. It's not very readable for me. So you have to read the numbers.
Okay. I can read. Hold on. I'm trying to. What did I do?
20. Is that 26.5 points?
It is. Hold on. I zoomed in too much. It is the standings of our LSU fantasy baseball draft. Jared Mitchell, 16 points.
That's not on the year. That's this week, right?
This is updated to the year.
So wait, go to Jared's lineup because he is.
Didn't we have like 10+ points like in week 1?
Well, it's always gonna change. It's not gonna
evolving.
be. Yeah, because it's the leaders. Remember, it's not always gonna be. You're not getting points for everybody. You're getting the points for like the leaders of the team, like of the people that we've drafted.
So after the weekends, you get your 3 points, your 2 points.
Yeah. So it's like the numbers aren't going to be like astronomically high. It's just going to alternate between who's.
It's almost like a weekly.
Not. Yeah. So Dickinson obviously is leading in RBIs, correct?
Yes.
He's got 3 points for that.
He's got 21 RBIs on the year. So he's got points for batting average, home runs with 3 with Daniel Dickinson. That's 2 because that's
so Dickinson's he's gotten him 6 points.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a
good pick.
That was a good pick.
Who'd you take first, Bear? You're the first overall pick, did you not?
No, I had the second pick.
Oh, he took Daniel Dickinson first. Yeah. So this is where we stand as of total of Mikie, 25.5, and I'm at 24.5. I just pulled it up because I'm rolling on the pitching staff. Got 14 points from the defense.
From the defense?
Yeah, from the pitching side.
Oh, from the pitching side.
Yeah, Chase Shores, Connor Ware, Zach Cowan is carrying me as of now.
Oh, ERA. Right?
Yeah.
ERA, that's why.
I got the two horses. I got Ware and Cowan going back to back in the same game.
Yeah, it's all starting to shape up the way we thought it was going to shape up. You know, it's been a good draft. Listen, it's a week.
Seems to be a good pick.
It's a week-to-week thing.
I got Milam, Brown, Broswell. I need to.
He's get hot. I mean, I have.
I know me and you are going to have a battle.
We're battling the third base spot right now.
Reeves.
Yeah.
And you still have big Little Pearson on the waiver wire. Anybody wants him?
Yeah, well, we said there's no waivers. Can't drop a guy. We got this is a guy to stick with. Hey, did y'all pay attention to the combine at all, or any of the LSU guys?
No, I didn't see much of it. Like I was at the ball game, so I wasn't able to kind of watch too much of it. Spent some other time with the family, so I'm sure Lloyd has some cliff notes.
Hey, your boy, McAfee really pushing this Will Howard thing hard. I watched this show today, and because he was on Twitter, he was obviously not watching it, and he was getting clips from the NFL, and he saw the NFL said Will Howard's balling, showed all the good throws, and then the internet obviously said, hey, whoa, that's not the case. And then he comes on the show, and he's like, NFL definitely cherry-picked on some of the videos there because they missed a bunch of throws. He goes, obviously, you don't look at and you can't judge the throwing and make it the end-all, be-all. He said, Bro Nix did not throw well. That's what Sean Payton was saying in the interview with him. He didn't throw very well in the combine, so you can't really look into. There's other things that you got to look into. But Will Howard had a rough day throwing. You don't know the receivers. You don't know how they're going to come in and out of cuts. Like it's not that easy just because nobody's defending you. It's not really not that easy. But he missed some throws. And McAfee had to backtrack a little bit, like, okay, I'll jump the gun there, but he still likes him.
J-Bitch, he went on.
I mean, he doesn't have a choice but to like him for as much as he's put on for him so far. So I will hope at some point it really works for him, I guess. I mean, even more so than it works for Will Howard because he has been jumping on top of a table for this man so far.
Buddy, he had to go out and say what you thought was happening. He's like, I don't have a relationship with his agent. I'm not representing him. We're not doing this is not me trying to push him. It's like, it is. And then so he did he started off that conversation by saying exactly what you're like, what kind of relationship y'all got to where you're pushing this man this much? And obviously the combine happened, but big winners from the combine, would you say Will Campbell, Mason Taylor, and Jack Besh?
Jack Besh, he did everything but run, or run routes, right? Did he didn't run? Did he run routes? He did run routes. He didn't test. He didn't run his 40. He did the 3-cone drill, which was good. Which look, you want to run the 40 in something that where you're comfortable, and that's probably what he's going to do. He's going to run it at his pro day.
Clocks.
Yeah, he's going to run it at his pro day.
And Indy's been notorious for a slow track as well too.
Yep.
So you're literally not the guy to basically be a blazer. It's a tough one to run on.
Yeah, I mean, what he's going to do and what's going to separate him is, his competitiveness, the way he blocks, right? So, like, a team like the Rams or a team like San Francisco or somebody who likes to utilize their wide receivers in the blocking game, right? He does that really well. He obviously runs really good routes, has great hands, and he can run. He's athletic. And so he showed all the things he needed to outside of the 40. So I think he's a big winner. I think Will Campbell. Obviously, Mason Taylor was, maybe vaulting himself up to the top 3 tight end.
But the Penn State cat.
The Penn State guy's number 1.
And then old buddy from Bowling Green.
Potentially.
Well, he had 13 touchdowns and 1,000.
No, I know. But
he ran a slower 40 than people thought.
Right. And so can he block? That's the other thing. There's a lot more to the tight end position right now in the NFL than just going out there and running routes. Zai Alexander, what was his? It was kind of a mixed bag on the reviews on him. I think he ran a sub 4.6 40, which not blazing for a cornerback, but I think he showed some athleticism. I think he was a little longer than people thought.
See, that's where you're mistaken. He ran a 3.8 40.
Yeah, he wishes. He wishes.
Look, it's clocked here.
Jared, the clock messed up when he ran his 40 and said 3.8. Could you imagine looking up and?
To be honest.
I never took him for a 4.56 guy. I can tell you that.
No, me either.
No.
Me either.
I'd still draft him.
More
Fourth round.
sub 4.4s, 22 of them. Than I think the third most in the history of the combine. A lot more people think they run that than they do. If you ask them, you go to any football camp. Hey, what you run?
Which Texas receiver said he was going to run a 4.1? Didn't one of those say he was going to run?
Yeah, he ran a 4.4.
Which is great.
Great.
4.1 is
Why say it
not
though?
normal.
No, and his best Matthew Golden, his teammate, ran a sub 4.4, beat him. 4.38. Right.
I forgot I watched this.
I think the fastest time was a 4.29 or 4.28. But think about this: how many camps did you go to that people were like, "Hey, what you run? I run a 4.4. I run a 4.4. I run a 4." Man, I promise you, none of y'all run 4.4s.
Everybody here runs a 4.4.
Everybody runs. When I asked someone that, and I was at that Army combine, I was like, I'm shit. Like, everybody's running a 4.4. Hey, what you run? Oh, man, I got a bad start. I ran a 4.7, 4.6. Man, you said you ran a 4.4. Even with a bad start, you should be faster than that. Yeah, it's crazy.
What did you run, Mikey?
I ran a 4.44 there.
Fast track.
I ran a 4.44 at the combine. But it wasn't full laser. I'll give it. It was a hand start laser finish type thing.
Oh,
okay.
You pay extra for that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I felt good about it. It was. I got to run it in the first group. So like it was after everybody got loose, and so I was ready to go.
Yeah.
Some people had to sit there. It was and it was kind of chilly in San Antonio when we did it, and so. But yeah.
Big excuses for other guys.
Not me.
But you had the young hammies. Like, the young hammies don't need they ready to go.
I trained for that thing for 2 months, Coach. I would train for that 40-yard dash for 2 months because that was after I broke my arm.
What do you think you would run now, both of you?
I think I'd rip my hamstring in half.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I might get a D&D or DNF or whatever it's called.
I'm like running. Like today, I did like a nice
Jersey
little,
Jerry ran a 5.1.
That's pretty good. I mean, I'm
saying I'll get out the blocks. I'm just saying I don't know if the hammy's ready to be stretched out.
Yeah, you gotta get out and you gotta let it go, long stride it, and it's like
don't Alexander it.
No, and that's where you get the hamstring
pop
issues. Yeah.
I wonder if I'd go under.
I don't even want to say, hey,
5'8".
let's go time it. Like, no, let's not do that. If I'm being honest, right now
I'm
probably
sub 6 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I hope so. Shit, what are you talking about?
The bar low. I haven't sprinted in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Mikey did some sprints today.
No, it wasn't full sprints though. It was it was striding out like it was like equivalent to a 6-minute mile. So like I would do that.
I did see what Will Campbell did, which was impressive.
Sub 5, 4.98.
Sub 5.
Now they say he's got short arms by 1/8 of an inch, or something like that. Which I don't think that 1/8 is going to make a big difference. In some things it may, but not arm length.
It's cold in there.
I would imagine not arm length. 1/8 doesn't make much of a difference in the arm length, and I think the tape shows. And I mean, he jumped a 32-inch vertical. That's pretty impressive for a 315+ pound human being.
We were talking about this on the morning show, and you know who's going to take him? Vrabel's going to love him. Patriots. Like, that's his guy.
What pick do they have?
The 4th pick?
I mean, they do need a left tackle.
They have their quarterback.
I mean, they may not need a left tackle if they have a good one. I don't know, but I would imagine they would need one.
Are people higher on him or the guy, or what is it, Banks from
Kelvin Banks?
Texas?
I think now people are starting to. It was 50-50. I think people are starting to lean towards Will Campbell a little bit more than Kelvin Banks. I've heard more about Will Campbell right now than I've had Banks. Now, you still got a whole month and a half before the draft, so who knows?
Yeah.
I have known nothing about Kelvin Banks other than the fact that he's a really good left tackle. I would have to imagine that the interviews are really good from Will Campbell.
Cool.
I would have to imagine that everything that they want to see. What?
I'm laughing at Lloyd. Oh.
Yeah, I'm assuming everything that they want intangible wise.
He's a football coach's dream
No doubt. And so I think that's only going to get better. And he did everything he needed to do in the combine. I would imagine he's not going to test at Pro Day.
There's been 4 offensive linemen since 2003 that have been 315 pounds and have run a sub 5 in the 40 and jumped 30 inches in the vert. Trent Williams, 11-time Pro Bowler. Tristan Wirfs, 4-time Pro Bowler in 5 seasons. And now Will Campbell.
And what was Will's vertical? Did they say the exact vertical?
No, just over. I think it was 33.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. I mean, 33, that's a good vertical. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good vertical.
He's an athlete. He fancies himself an athlete, and he is one.
He is an athlete.
That's
I mean, you got to remember, too, the same guy that stepped on the kid as an 18-year-old freshman in the SEC and only was, he was still an all-SEC player that year, right?
Yeah.
Or at least all-SEC freshman that year.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was a freshman All-American.
Yeah, I mean, it's tracking if you ask me, so
no doubt.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see how this thing goes. They're going to try to pick something apart. There's a lot of picking apart, which I think a lot of people have kind of gotten on that train or understood that or at least see it that way in terms of the players with as many guys that sat out and did not perform in it. So I think that's how people are kind of looking at this thing right now.
A&M has a guy, it's like the typical college freak athlete, but for some reason just didn't perform, and that's Shamar Stewart, their defensive end. He was like a freak show in the combine, but only had, 3 sacks this past year? Like, the production doesn't match the talent, and so it's like he's still going to get drafted in the top 15 picks. It's like, it's hard not to draft that guy. Another big winner of the draft was a safety for South Carolina. Did you see this guy?
Mm-mm.
You didn't see
And the
him?
running back from Virginia Tech, too.
The running backs in general, the running backs position's back. I mean, they had a bunch of guys that were 220 plus and a bunch of guys that were running 4.4s. Trayvon Henderson and Judkins both balled out. The guy from North Carolina, they're talking about him being the number 1 running back over Genty, Amari and Hampton. And so those guys balled out.
Love him.
But the safety from South Carolina, 6'3", 220 pounds. He ran a Emma Mori. He ran a 4.38 40. He jumped a 42-inch vertical, like absolute freak show.
He's 6'3", 220, 4.38 40, 43-inch vertical, 11.6 broad jump.
Yeah.
Good God.
Where have you been?
Yeah. And so we were wondering about South Carolina defense. You got that guy plus the defensive line they had. South Carolina was real on the defensive side of the football.
He's the guy that picked off.
Boy, that's a mutant, boy. That's not no human.
Yeah, no doubt. 6'3", 220, 4.38, 43-inch vertical, which is stupid high.
Broad jump's insane.
And the broad jump, he probably jumped out further than the tape.
He was the guy that picked off Nuss on the one that got called back that ran the pick 6. And Nuss got decleated, and apparently it was not a personal foul, but it was. If you watch the game,
right?
From what I saw, they did throw a flag, but he was the guy that had the pick 6 that sent South Carolina into a frenzy. Bob
meant to mention this. How about Deebo Samuel going to the Commanders?
Why is he so fat?
Deebo's a running back receiver guy. Like he's
big Deebo.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right.
What happened to Slimbo?
I don't think Slimbo is ever Slimbo.
I don't think he ever lived, but now he's just a little big, a little chunky.
Yeah, he's all right.
He might come back a little repurposed this year.
Maybe
he might be a little repurposed this year. Hey, listen, he's been seeing all these memes. I know he has. So, he got a little off season right now to kind of put it back together. We'll see.
No doubt. Bengals franchise tagged Higgins. Again, second year in a row, $28 million. You'd imagine they're going to try to get a deal done, but he's franchise.
Oh man!
Yeah, but then he showed back up and he was like, "Damn, he was skinny again." Not Debo. Harden.
It's a one way to get yourself out of town.
But yeah, that was our football update. That's all we're going to talk about for the football side. Even though I think the Saints are going to draft that tight end, which I think would be a good pick, unless they want to draft.
A lot of smoke about Ashton Genty.
For the Saints?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I want to draft a running back in the first.
You just said running backs are back.
No, they are back.
What pick do they have? What pick did the Saints have?
9, which I like. I love him. I think it'd be great. I just think that we need there's got to be some help I don't know.
They could literally throw a ball in the ocean and hit a pick because you need help everywhere.
You need help everywhere. You're right. You're right.
Ginty is. I mean, you just signed Alvin Kamara. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And you have the
Kendre Miller.
Kendre
Who
Miller.
they like, but he's never there.
I mean, you can't say they have him. It seems like they're trying to move away from him because he has not been reliable in the first 2 years of his contract so far.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like it was more of a Dennis Allen thing. He put him in the doghouse and never let him out.
I think they liked the tight end Tyler Warren. Obviously, he's a guy who's going to step in day one and give you another weapon on the offensive side. I mean, shit. Depending on what happens with Olave, you're going to have to get another wide receiver. Like, is Olave not going to, is his brain mush? Is he going to be a concussion guy?
He's your wide receiver that is Tua Tagovailoa.
Right. Like, you can't rely on him because 2 years in a row, 2 years in a row he's had bad concussions. Olave.
He's got 6 in his NFL career. Documented.
So
yeah, that's a lot, man. And I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him, man. That's a lot.
And when you have a serious one like he had,
you hope the best for him too, because he's a really talented ball player, man. You want to see him out there kind of doing his thing and getting out there, but the concussions it's hard to overlook those right now in his career.
Especially when you have a serious one like he had this year that basically took him out for the whole year, or the remainder, however many weeks that was.
Well, I think it was also a series of them back to back where you just like, hey, you know what? Come on over, sit over here. We let you kind of relax for a little bit.
Let's go sit down there, get some nice AC. Let's not put any more stress on this thing because we need you for the future. Probably a smart move.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Obviously, the draft's a little ways away. That was our update in that. Let's talk a little before we get to the segments. Let's talk a little bit about the SEC baseball in general. Texas A&M was the number 1 team in the country. They had an abysmal week. They went 1-3. They're now 6-4 in the year. They dropped all the way, I think, to 14. LSU is now the number 1 team in the country according to D1 baseball. I think in 2 polls they're number 1, and then other 3 polls Tennessee is number 1 in the country. Tennessee is leading the SEC in homers with 26. That's a lot. LSU in comparison has 9, which we already talked about this. I don't think that matters. There's also a couple other factors. Tennessee's field is a joke to hit at. I mean, it is. You can bunt a ball over the fence there. But they're a very good team, very complete team. Vitello's got them playing really well. And a team that is kind of surging at the moment is Ole Miss. Ole Miss is back into the top 15. I think they're 25th, and I think they jumped 9 spots. So I think they're like 16th or 17th now. Oklahoma goes 5-0 this week. They're in the top 10-ish. 4 of the top 5 teams are all SEC. 1, 2, 3, and 5. Georgia's 5. LSU's 1. Tennessee's 2. And who would be the third team? Florida? No, Florida's 7 or 8.
I know it's not. It's
Arkansas.
UL.
Arkansas.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
So SEC is very well represented like they always are. South Carolina had the first tough weekend series, like an actual home and away series. They played Clemson. Clemson swept them. Clemson, I think, is ranked 10th in the country. So Coach Maneri's got a rebound this week. But that was my around the SEC. Georgia seems like they're real.
5.
Yeah, 5 in the country.
Oh, Wes.
5 in the country. Psycho closer. That's also a great place to hit. I don't know what their numbers are offensively, but that place is a fun play. Great backdrop, and ball likes to fly over there.
I'll go real far there. Great backdrop. Very dark in the back, so where the ball is very bright and white, and there isn't any other signs or any other nonsense and all of that where you can't really see what's going on. And like you said, the ball just absolutely, and kind of the porch is kind of short too, outside of straightaway left field. So it's a great place to hit. I love that place.
Love it. Wait, what's going on here? I was trying to get the scores. Or the standings for the SEC, but D1 baseball
had a tough weekend.
They had a tough weekend.
I do not envy that spot. As
they made the adjustment. and they didn't have any more streaming issues, but it feels like that's something that you probably got to get ahead of.
I was in the queue for an hour and 38 minutes, only for Mikey not to give me his password.
I was in the queue after I had logged in.
Integrated.
And I couldn't get on until I got on.
He tried to tell me, as I was sitting here living and breathing in front of him, he's like, oh, I have to reset my password. He's like, oh, the password's the same. And I was like, Mikey, we were together when you changed your password.
Were we together?
We were right here. It was Friday.
You sure I had to change it here?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't resubscribe here.
No, then you got kicked out of the website and had to, because we were doing the math. We're like, oh, this is when we signed up last year.
Well, that was my fault because I thought I got hacked. I thought I was like, because it didn't say, I didn't read the D1 baseball, and I was like, what is this random?
Who's hacking into your
No, I got a Amex.
You got phishing?
That's what I got. I got an Amex, fraud alert, and I didn't really read through the whole thing. It just says, one night, I was like, I didn't buy anything for $199. Cancel. Yeah, fraud. So they had to send me a new card. So then my renewal, then I looked at my email. I was like, damn it, that was D1 baseball. It's too late to go back now. So now it canceled. I had to wait till my new card came in. Then I had to get. It was just.
It was a fucking disaster.
It was a whole deal. It was a whole deal.
And which leads me to. Should we go curtain call right now?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get to the seggies.
This is what.
You want to go curtain calls? Or you want to go mistake of the day first?
I just have this one.
Okay, let's go curtain call.
Segue, because Daily Joy on Twitter. This is how I watched 5
There was a couple people that did this.
This is how it was going to be me if I would have been able to get into the account. I was going to do this for the people, but I wasn't able to. So this is how I watched the game for 5 innings. She's at her work, and she's streaming D1 baseball off her phone, and she went live on Twitter to be able to everybody watch the game like this. She's at work.
Wow.
And her boss was like, whatever. She was getting like multiple Venmos from people for streaming the game. She's like, well, I'm staying here to do this. Like, stay late at work. Whenever she could have left.
She was
getting
getting paid
for the people.
She was getting paid.
And that is how insane LSU baseball is at the moment, because it is the only thing that people want to watch. And try as you might to keep us out, the fans are finding a way. And UL 0-3 since outing Cagenomics.
Yeah.
Karma's real, especially in baseball.
They're struggling. They're struggling. That's a good curtain call. Jay, do you have one?
I do not, man. I was kind of bouncing around all weekend, man. I didn't really get a chance to look at shit, so that's probably maybe I should have been doing that instead of actually getting the golf swing kind of.
No. That should be your curtain call. My curtain call is to you. Getting your golf swing right and getting on the golf course. That makes me happy. I enjoy play. I try to bring my friends to play golf, especially the ones that I want to. Yes, you listen. Every time you were out of town this weekend, don't act like it's my fault. You were going to try to go play with the professional golfer, and he bailed on you, so that's not my fault. I have to, do what I got to do. But that's my current call to you, Jay. I'm glad that you are now
in the golf sphere.
Hey, listen. Listen to me.
Don't you have to do 2 times to make it twice? It got to be a thing. You can do more than once. There's only been once.
Yeah, but okay, listen to me. I'd imagine if you get out of your house today and you said, I'm going to go hit at the range right next to my house, I would imagine that's not going to be the only time you ever do it.
Nah, fuck that. It's the only time.
If you were at if you were at an event and it just happened and you're like, oh, you have to be there and you hit it, that'd be okay. That's probably not going to happen.
No, you went
out of your way. You went to the storage unit. You got your clubs.
No, I did that in January. They just happened to be at the crib every day.
And then you said, okay, I'm gonna dress in the golf attire.
Yeah, those clubs are calling you like the Green Goblin.
I'm gonna dress in the golf attire. Then I'm gonna go across the street and I'm gonna get on the range and I'm gonna put myself out there. It's a beautiful day, I'm sure. And you swung it. That is not a one-time thing, my friend. That is, hey, I'm interested in this thing. Let me see if I can't get this thing better, which I respect.
Don't test me.
Hey, if I were you, I'd go backwards to front. I mean, I'd go to the end of the short game to the driver, right? So that way, get the short game locked down.
I've heard that a time or two. I may have tried that method today.
Yeah, get the short game locked down. You'll be a lot better golfer. The other stuff will just come as it goes. I wish I'd have done that. Did not. Me, obviously.
I was already decent with the irons, though. I feel like I'm okay with the irons. It's actually getting to where you can use the irons effectively. That's always been the problem. So
right, Yeah, I tried with the driver first. That obviously was not the way to go. That's what everybody wants to do. All right, that's all I got. I don't have any other curtain calls. You have a mistake of the day, Lloyd?
I do. I was trying to get Jimmy's swing pulled up because I sent it to myself, but that would not be the mistake of the day. The mistake of the day.
Oh, actually, before you say that, did you hear curtain call to Chad Johnson? Did you hear what he said this morning on First Take?
Person.
He said the two most difficult things in life are hitting a baseball and keeping a woman happy long term.
He also said he could beat LeBron one-on-one.
Right, but I will say this: that argument. I was in my office and I had it on. It was like on low volume, and then I saw the headline. I was like, "Oh, let me turn this up and see what they had to say," because I'm always curious, and it's a consensus thing from amongst athletes, not physically more taxing. That was the argument. The argument was, or the question was, what Travis Hunter said, saying that playing both sides of the football is harder than doing, or does is harder
than Shohei
Ohtani, right? And their argument was like, look, physically, of course, like playing both sides of the football all game, physically, obviously harder. Skilled wise, no shot. And Shannon Sharp said no shot. And Chad Johnson said no shot. And Stephen A. Smith said no shot. So curtain call to that, because I respect that, because that is the truth. Chad said, hey, go sit at home plate and try to hit a 95-mile fastball, then come talk to me. And then tell me how easy it is.
Sounds like something we should be pushing and pumping more, because not everybody could do that. Just a thought.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, but you have a guy that throws 100 and then hits 50 homers. He's the best at what he does. And listen, you're really good too, Travis Hunter. Like what you do is a rarity and physically probably the most impressive thing I've seen. But if you're going, you can't compare yourself to what Ohtani's doing, because what he's doing is crazy. All right, mistake of the day, Lloyd.
We should all be nervous about this mistake of the day.
I'm always nervous about the mistakes of the day.
As the future continues to evolve right in front of our eyes, we now have AI, we have Grok 3, and now we have robots.
Oh no! This is in China, obviously.
Why did you say that?
Robots got feelings.
Yeah, I think they're starting to feel a little bit, and that's the problem.
That's not good.
Treat them right.
That's not good.
Because, I've seen iRobot. I've seen it a ton. Will Smith. Struggle.
Yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that.
No, we don't. That would be not good. That'd be the opposite of good.
What do you do? They're probably strong as an ox.
Yeah, they're not human beings. Well, now, they don't feel pain.
Now they have this, they have servant robots now that can do your dishes for you and pick up your groceries and put things away. I'm all for it. I would love that. But also don't want to wake up with a red one.
Why would you love that, Lloyd?
Oh, because I don't have to do anything. I could move out the house.
It would be like an assistant, right? Which
right. It's like going back to the 1920s.
But I still if I was going to have an assistant, I still would like a human being as the assistant.
Yeah.
To know
oh, you're sexist.
What?
Is your wife to do it all?
What? I never mentioned that at all. I don't know where that came from.
That's just what people say. What? Not me.
My wife does not do that. My wife is a working woman.
That's right.
She's on the road. She's driving. Best month of her work career last month.
Big pay.
Nice.
The household enjoys that, especially when.
Can you figure out Google AdSense for us?
I think I got an email. You want me to see what it says?
Yeah. Because I got an email too.
That was not it.
Oh.
Your payment methods were changed. I did not change anything.
Oh, that's me.
You changed my payment methods? Yeah, we're working on this. We're trying to get the money out of that, but it's gonna happen. All right, that's all we got for you this beautiful Monday. Enjoy Mardi Gras tomorrow. It's gonna be a wet one.
Oh.
It's gonna be raining. It's gonna be windy. It's gonna be a little chilly. It's gonna be colder on Wednesday. I think the low is 38 Wednesday night. It's gonna be very, very spring weather. Oh, look at that!
Oh my goodness!
Look at that! What club is that?
Probably
It's a 4-iron.
probably my hybrid, I'm thinking.
Look at him hold the
Look at the hole to finish. Let me ask you, did you look at YouTube videos, or you just went straight cold turkey? I'm gonna be an athlete.
I just went straight there.
Nice.
There you go.
You had any Scud missiles?
That was pipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come.
Little low
Man,
stingers.
we got to stay balanced here a little bit, J. Mitch.
I let it go on purpose. What do you mean? I could walk out of
I
that
like
thing
it. Look,
and
you're getting loose.
I could torque out of that thing if I wanted to, boy.
Good. You're getting your back very nicely.
Yeah, he's a little quick on the transition. We'll get that fixed.
Yeah, that's all. It's all a tempo town.
That's right.
Tempo town. Yeah. It's hard. It's the hardest thing I had to learn. Tempo town.
Whatever. I liked it.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it. All right, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy Mardi Gras tomorrow. We'll be back live on Ash Wednesday.
My birthday.
It is your birthday, Lloyd. March 5th will be live on Lloyd's birthday.
God had no clue it was going to be Ash Wednesday.
Are you you're good with coming in on your birthday, Lloyd?
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be Thursday. That'd be a problem.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. What are you going to do for your birthday?
Nothing.
You got no plans?
Might do a little dude dinner.
Go
with the
oh,
boys.
really?
Yeah.
Where?
We do it like once a month. I don't know. We usually do a little Mexicano dinner.
Nice. A little
Might do
Superior,
that.
maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody wants to pay.
See Shay. He's
Yeah.
probably there.
He's there on Thursdays.
On Thursdays. You're on
Never on the
Wednesday.
show.
What?
I said, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, enjoy it. Look, I'm glad we get to celebrate with you on Wednesday. Enjoy y'all's Monday. We'll be back. We'll be back live. You feel 38. We'll be back live in studio on Wednesday from 6 to 8-ish. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. There it is.
Yeah!
It was a great show.
Double.
It was
Triple.
double. We got fireworks. You got shit coming down from the sky and a thumbs up. That means it was a baller show. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you can't watch us, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods, we appreciate the support. We'll be back on Wednesday. Peace.
Wait, me and Fonz's son share the same birthday.
Fonz, that's a tough.
Nice.
It's tough.
Tough. Sorry.
It'll be 6.
Sorry, bud. Not for your son. I'm sorry that I just shared with Lloyd.
Yeah. I'll steal the show. Love you.